Hey guys, welcome back to the Feral Housewife. Today we're doing a crab mac and cheese, and I haven't had this in so long and I'm so excited about it. So we're using our crabs that we got a couple weeks ago with our friend Nick from SpringRoll Sportfishing. If you guys want to check out that video where we go and harvest our own crab and spot prawns, you can check it out right up here.
Okay, I'll just loop that in. That's a pretty good trap.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Holy smokes. Wow.
Look at that!
Here's your Dungeness crab.
Okay.
Probably our limit.
Wow,
Almost,
look at those
close.
big ones!
I'm Kayla and I love to adventure and cook. I love making recipes with foods that I've either caught or harvested myself, and I love showing people how to do the same thing with foods that they put on the table themselves.
So without further ado, let's get into the recipe. So I've got my onion chopped up, and I'm actually going to use my mini chop over here to get it into some really fine pieces. So let's do that. So just before we get started with our onions, I'm actually just going to start our water boiling for our crab. So the crab that we did, we already boiled it for 5 minutes right after we caught it, so that when we froze it, the meat didn't stick inside the shell. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to put a bit of water on in my steamer, and I'm going to steam the crabs for another 1 to 2 minutes just to kind of get that last couple minutes of cooking time in, and then I'm going to throw them into our sauce after. So I've got a little bit of water in my pot, and I'm just going to let this start boiling while I prepare the rest of our ingredients. So we've got the onions and our mini chop here, so I'm just going to blitz them for a minute. So we don't want them to be pasty, but I also want them to be, what do you call it? Like really, really, really tiny, so that they don't show up as chunks in our sauce later on. So this should be good. Looking pretty nice. Put that in our sauce in my Dutch oven over here. So I pop that in, and then I'm gonna put my element on. We're gonna set it to just between 3 and 4, so like just under medium heat, and that should get it really nice and warm for us. All right. Take that out. Okay, so our butter is nice and warmed up now, so I'm going to go ahead and add our onions in. I'm just going to reduce our heat a little bit, so it's just kind of like between medium-low. My oven is, or my stovetop is a gas range, so it gets pretty hot. So you kind of have to feel this out a little bit, but basically you want the onions to just kind of be like bubbling slightly, so that they're cooking until, you know what I mean, like they're translucent and they're going to be nice and fragrant for us. So this is what they look like. Alright, and while those are cooking, I'm going to go ahead and chop up the garlic the same way. I'm going to toss them in my mini chop. And my water is almost ready to put our crabs in. So, I've got about two crabs, 2 Dungeness crabs here. They were pretty big guys, but anyways, I want a lot of meat. So I've got my bowl, and when our water is boiling, they'll be ready to go right into our pot. So let's go ahead and put our crabs into the pot. Alright, so we're going to set a timer for our crabs just for a couple minutes. Meanwhile, our onions and our butter are looking really good. I'm gonna go ahead and add in our garlic. Alright, so we're gonna let that garlic cook for a minute. Alright, so I'm going to turn off the heat on our crabs and we're going to let them sit there until I'm ready to deshell them. Meanwhile, our butter and onions and garlic are looking good, and I have a 1/4 cup of flour that I'm going to add to our mix. So it's made it into a kind of a paste, and that's good. That's what we're looking for. So what happens with this is that the flour is going to absorb into the butter and the oils, and when we go in to add our liquid, in this case we're going to add our milk, it's going to actually create a really nice mixture that doesn't have a bunch of lumpy flour in it, which is essential for a good sauce. Okay, so see how it's getting a little bit toasted on these onions? That's perfect. That is going to add so much flavor. Just make sure you don't do it too much, otherwise it's going to burn. Alright, I think we're good to add our milk. So I've got about a couple cups of milk. I'm going to add it in. There we go. And I'm going to whisk this into our garlic and onions and butter mixture. But see how it's nice and it's going to thicken up when it's boiling, and then we're not going to have any lumpy flour. Alright, let's let that heat up for a bit. Okay, so I'm just going to add a couple of drips of, you guys are going to laugh at me for this one, Worcestershire sauce? Worcestershire. No. There. Done. And I'm going to make it a little funky, and I'm going to add a little bit of Frank's Red Hot. And this one's the extra spicy one. But I like spicy, so that's okay. Alright, so I've got some cheddar, which I'm going to add to my sauce. Look how nice that looks. So I'm going to go ahead and add my cheddar to our sauce. Let that melt in there. And I've also got some grated parm. Not very much, it's only like probably less than a 1/4 cup. But we're going to taste and add more if we need it. Okay, so I'm going to reduce the heat to low because we don't really want it to get too much thicker than this. This is a good level of thickness for our sauce. That tastes so good. Okay, so I'm going to leave this to simmer for a bit on low. I'm going to put the cover on it so that not much liquid escapes. And we're going to start with our crabs. We're going to start deshelling. They look good. Alright, so I've got my crab kit right here. Comes with these to crack the shells open and these to get the meat out. So this might take me a little while, but that's okay because that's going to give our sauce time to kind of absorb the flavors of the onion and the garlic and really make it nice and flavorful for us. I'm almost done crab checking. So I have my pot full of boiling water, and I'm gonna add my pasta. So I don't actually have like macaroni, but I have rotini, and I use whole grain because Tristan's tummy is a bit sensitive to white flours. So this is better. It gives us more protein, more fiber, and honestly the sauce and the crab is so good that you can't even tell. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this into my pot. And I'm gonna let that cook while I finish the rest of my crabs. Okay, so my pasta is almost done. And it turns out that I kind of overestimated how much crab I would need, but basically I have one crab left and we have a lot of meat. So we're gonna add this to the sauce, and our pasta is almost done. And yeah, this is gonna be good. All right, let's add the crab. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more milk to our sauce because it's kind of getting a little thick. Alright, I'm gonna do a little bit more salt and pepper. Alright, and I think I'm gonna do a little bit of paprika. So this might seem odd, but I'm actually going to add a little tiny pinch of nutmeg. Just a tiny bit. And then I'll get some little bit of warmth to the sauce. Okay, pasta is done. Alright, let's stir our pasta into our sauce. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put my broil on high. Let that heat up, turn the heat off. And I think what we're going to do is put a little bit of parmesan shavings on top so that when it broils it's going to be nice and golden. I'm going to stick this in the oven. And every oven is different. Mine is super fast, so I might only need to broil it for like 2 minutes. But it just depends. You just kind of want it to be like nice brown bubbly on the top. And we're good. Alright, time to take it out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this crab mac and cheese recipe. Let me know if you try it down in the comments, or you can tag me on Facebook and Instagram as well. And if you want to try catching your own crab one day, you can call up our friend Nick from SpringRoll Sportfishing, and he would be more than happy to take you up to get some. And believe me, it is so good. Alright, let's try it. Are you ready to taste test the crab?
Mm-hmm. Really good.
Oh yeah.
It's like powerful and light at the same time.
Yeah, it's definitely not overpowering, but the onion and the garlic really bring out the crab flavors.
And it gets better the more you eat it.
Yeah, somehow.
Hey? It's legitimately getting better the deeper you go.
Thanks guys so much for watching. And you seriously need to make this recipe, like it's so good. And again, if you want to check out our video with our friend Nick catching these crabs as well as some spot prawns, you can check it out over here. Don't forget to subscribe if you like this video and you want to see more. You can also press the notification bell if you want to get notified whenever I make a new video or a new recipe. And let me know what else you would like to see. If there's a specific recipe that you'd like me to try or a specific food, let me know and we'll do it. See you guys. I'm gonna give Pickle Tristan's leftover plate to see if he likes it. Are you a fan, Pickle? Is that yummy? I think he likes it.